Hello, beautiful souls. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's live reading. This week, I'm going to be doing things a little differently. So as you're joining me, I'm going to tell you a little more about this type of reading. As you noticed from the title, it's called a pick a deck reading. And what you want to do is take a moment to center yourself, connect with your guides, call upon your angels and source, call upon your higher self and the energy of the universe to connect with you and give you guidance as to which deck to choose. I will be working with the Keepers of the Light deck by Kyle Gray. I will be using the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco for the second reading. And for the third reading, I'll be using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards by Kyle Gray. So take a moment to find your center and ask Spirit today, ask your guides, ask Source, Almighty Creator, Father Sky above, Mother Earth below, and quiet our hearts and listen for their answer today on which deck to choose. I will be doing the first reading from the Keepers of the Light deck, the second reading from the Divine Animals Oracle, and the third reading from the Angels and Ancestors deck. So let's go ahead and make sure you've made your choices and keep your eye on the deck. I'm going to be starting with the Keepers of the Light deck. For some of you, this reading may apply for all three readings as they go deeper within yourself. I am, as a shamanic teacher and healer, I like to start with above, so they're messages from Spirit. Then what's going on within us with our animal walker, the earth walker being that we work with. And then I'll be going even deeper with our ancestors and touching into the subconscious that connects us, possibly even past lives and karmic issues that you may be going through at this time. This is going to be a timeless reading, but these are going to be messages that Spirit is bringing to you now. I do have to mention before I start that I noticed last week we had a couple of viewers and watchers and friends that were like, what decks were you using? Put the links in the decks, in the comments below so we could see the links. I've included links in the description of this video, and you can click on those links. And I do have to mention that they are affiliated, so we'll be receiving a kickback for that, which is fantastic. And so if you like one of these decks today, you can tap on one of those links and help support our channel and help support these beautiful creators like Kyle Gray and Stacey DeMarco. And I also wanted to mention that this reading is completely free for universal information and universal awareness to all souls on all levels of being. So take what you need and leave the rest. I also wanted to mention that you can find a donation and support link up in the description. I will also post that now in the comments if you feel led to donate and support our channel and these readings. There we go. So I'll get that set up in there for you all. And without further ado, let's jump into the Keepers of the Light Oracle and see what messages come to us from above. Let's make sure we don't knock over anything. That's always the fun part of these live readings. Is anything going to fall over? Is anything going to mess up? Am I going to knock over the camera? These are the things I worry about. And Spirit is like, Bradley, it's okay. It's fine. We've got you. You're protected. Remember, that's a message that we've been receiving over and over again in the past few weeks. All right. Now, I don't know about you, but we had some tempers flaring today, mine included. But it was a beautiful, purifying message for me not to get so stuck in my ego sometimes. Goodness, I can sound so condescending to others. And I don't mean it to be harsh. I just get excited. I just want the message to come out as clear as possible. And sometimes they come out devoid of emotion, especially whenever I'm tapping into my intuition. And ooh, I even trigger myself sometimes. So I just want you to know, if you are receiving a message from Spirit and you are triggered, it's beautiful moment, especially during this Mercury retrograde, with all of the energies that are coming forth, that you open to your heart's awareness and see what messages are coming through on a deeper level, not just on the surface. Because the surface issues are wonderful to work through, but a lot of us have already learned those. And so this Keepers of the Light reading is going to help this first group that chose the Keepers of the Light deck to figure out what Spirit is saying on a deeper, higher vibrational level. So the first card we're pulling out today, which I'm actually going to be doing the reading, we're going to have above, below, within, and without. So this is going to work on 4 different levels, and I've been using this reading quite often in my own healing sessions with myself, for insight for myself, and also for my clients that come visit me personally in my healing studio. I've been using this reading, and it has had so much good effect. And it really works deeply with who we are, and it's kind of like a 1-2 punch. It really gets, what's going on above you, what's going on below you subconsciously, and then what's going on around you and within you. And it really touches on those 4 points. And so I received a reading today from a beautiful friend, Cindy Terry Klein, who has Black Cats and Broomsticks on Etsy. So she's great if you need any witchy supplies. She's wonderful and I love her. She's a good friend. But I wanted to give her a shout out because today I did a reading and it gave me the name for this reading spread that I've been using, and it's called the Medicine Wheel. So as above, so below, within, and so without. So as we draw this first card, this is what we are understanding as above. And that is a beautiful messenger. We have Horus coming through tonight, and Horus is saying, I am opening a cosmic gateway. All right, Stargate fans, this is your moment. As you can see, there's a Stargate behind him, which those movies like Stargate, Fifth Element were definitely light-coded messages. If you haven't watched those recently, you should go back and watch some of them. I'm getting that message from that meme, about the Matrix that says the Matrix wasn't a film, it was a documentary. So there's deep levels of understanding in even our present day media and entertainment. And that's coming through. And it says in the bottom, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So that's a beautiful message for us. And I understand that if things aren't going well for you, ooh, that's a bit crooked. If things aren't going well for you right at this moment, that kind of message is going to be like, oh man, you're trying to tell me that all this that I went through today, all this heartache, all this struggle, all of this is my own making? In a way, yes. Because remember, we have to understand that the universe will not give us anything we cannot handle and learn from and grow from. We're supposed to own our experiences, own our stories. And Horus is telling us the story that we are being given an opportunity to see ourselves, our situation, our life's journey from a higher perspective. I'm seeing eagle medicine here. With Horus, eagle medicine is all about getting clarity, rising above things. Now, that can come out in a completely different way if you aren't vibing in the right vibration. You're going to come off as condescending, arrogant, and even talking down to people. Now, that isn't the space you want to be in. If you catch yourself doing that, you're feeling this activation today. You're feeling this activation in your heart space, and your ego is taking over. If you are talking down to people or trying to belittle them, this is coming out to tell you, okay, you're getting the message, but that's not what I meant. Remember, we can't understand these higher cosmic messages through logic. We have to take them into our intuition and go deeper. So that leads us right to the As Below card, which is going to give us more clarity on this. And it is magic manifesting Isis. I have been studying Isis a lot lately. She's been coming into my awareness, especially with the scarab beetle, the images of the sun, and the halo around the sun, the corona, and how it is actually here in the bull's horns, and then also the beautiful symbol of the Ankh and the all-seeing eye. These images have been coming to me a lot, and in her description here, it says, your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. So a lot of us are needing to stay focused today. Ooh, let's see here. Let's get this a little closer. Nope, we're going to have to put something there to hold her up. All right, there we go. So we have Horus above Isis. This is beautiful because this is also the image of the sun, light codes, solar, the soul symbol with the circle, especially in Egyptian tradition. And then we see Isis, representative of the night, the mother, the moon energy. So it's asking us to marry our logic and our intuition. Isis reminds me a lot of the High Priestess in the tarot deck. That's all about mastering your intuition and listening to those insights. So you may need to approach this as a more nurturing energy. Isis was anything if not a caretaker for her friends and family and lover. She was the one who actually went down and put her king back together. She walked through the underworld to discover pieces of him and put them magically back together. So you may be activating healing aspects in your life. Magics are coming forward for healing. And even these logical and ego things that are popping up from in here is your intuition pushing them out to the surface so that you can raise your vibration, releasing weight. Think of it as releasing sandbags from a hot air balloon. The hot air balloon can't rise higher unless it loses some weight. Okay? Now, this isn't talking about physical weight. This is talking about emotional weight, all right? Because we do have the connection between the logic and the intuition. So that's that connection between the mind and the heart, okay? So you might even find that if you're on a lower vibration of this, you're becoming obsessed with your weight, right? You're wanting to work out more. You're wanting to really go into it. But it's saying if you try to do that and just stick in the physical, you're going to bring this logic too far down here and you're going to project that out. And like I said, that soul energy is coming out and you could burn people by staying in your ego. So it's allowing you to rise from the heart as well to meet up with these connections. No judgment, love, mother energies, truly being empathetic and connecting on a heart space level. And that's even using your intuition here, which is activated right now during this time. You see, that's also shown here with this activation. So we might be operating on these low vibrational levels for some of us, especially with Mercury retrograde. The thing that we're being given is an opportunity to upgrade to higher circumstances. Mercury himself is actually walking through the underworld with you. Some of you might be experiencing, I know I said in the energy report this week, the dark night of the soul, okay? or that, that journey through the underworld. That is the dark night of the soul. Yeah, I remember saying, yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. This is a woman who has walked through the valley of death boldly and bravely and wholly herself. So you may be even walking through this time during your life, and you're much more enlightened. You're much more awake to what is happening. So you don't continue this disconnect that sometimes happens from the mind and the heart. You're actually learning to marry these, and it's a beautiful transition. You're not being as triggered as you are. You're catching it on faster. You're able to spot it coming before it comes and actually practice speaking from the heart. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. Okay, so we got there. But this is saying that Horus is allowing you to spot those moments, and your intuition is working to open doorways for you to grow and heal. I know today, whenever my temper was triggered, it did not last long, and it was actually beautifully purifying. That once we realized that both of us were hurting and both of us were being hurt, we had to stop and think and communicate clearly from the heart space before we could move on. And then we sat down and we made plans, and just things started connecting both inside and outside. So let's go to the next card for within. We're looking at, yes, Hilarion, divine healing, laughing it out. Don't take things so seriously. Okay, so this is saying that this Isis and Horus connection can make you very, very sensitive, especially if you're receiving upgrades, especially if you're doing cleansing, and especially if you're doing healing. How many of us feel cranky whenever we don't feel well? I know that especially if you had physical surgery, or if you broke something, it takes a little bit of time before you become yourself again. And some people have a tendency to get cranky. Some people, it takes a toll on their physical bodies. So this is telling me that this connection is actually taking a toll on your physical body, and you're feeling it in the physical, in the present. And it's saying that this is Hilarion's divine healing, because he's giving you an opportunity to heal your heart. I'm even seeing that it's a gem, but in my mind's eye, I'm seeing that gem catch flame, and it's slowly melting the ice around our hearts. And it's saying, honor your sensitivity. Yes, honor that sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So you are being shown truth. You are being shown true, and some people won't like that. I know today, whenever I was called out on my ego, I did not like it, guys. Ooh, it hurt my heart feels. So I did this. I retreated to recharge and heal for a moment before I spoke in too much anger. Okay, so I think we lost everybody there for a second. Hello. Sorry about that. I don't know how far we had gotten in or out or what was going on there. But for those of you that are watching this when it's not live, we just had a little blip in the service. And so I hope that this continues to record. If not, I'll restart this and go from there. But I just wanted to say that right now we're being given an opportunity by Hilarion for divine healing, to help us melt our heart spaces, okay? To clear away some of the ice around our heart and warm it up with divine light. And it says here, honor your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal, and your light can support others. Today, when my ego was triggered, it took me a moment to remember to retreat. But when I retreated to recharge and heal and think for a moment, use my brain, but also use my heart and try to see where the other person is coming from, but understand within why I am being triggered. it was actually kind of silly that we were both upset because we were upset at each other for the same things. So we were being a wonderful, beautiful mirror during this Mercury retrograde for one another. And it says your light can support others. So their light was trying to support my healing. My light was trying to support their healing. And neither one of us wanted to receive it until we just surrendered and said, you know what? We have to let go, and we have to let this be what it is, and realize that apologies are needed. Some of us need to, communicate more clearly from our heart space. And we didn't return to that discussion until we were clearer in where we were coming from our hearts. And that was a beautiful message from Hilarion today. That's what was happening within us. And then we're going to take a quick look at what is happening without. We have the Higher Learning Melchizedek card. Melchizedek is coming to us today to invite us to remember our sacred divinity in... Oh, it keeps jumping back and forth. Sorry about that. To remember our sacred divinity within the day-to-day. So Melchizedek, higher learning, you have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. Wow, sorry, it took my eyes a little bit to adjust to that as this card is taking time to adjust. Sorry about that. I wish it would stop doing that. I'm trying to keep it steady. There we go. That should steady it up. Okay, so I'll just hold my hands here, do this. And so Melchizedek higher learning is coming through and reminding us about our angel wings, okay? Reminding us of that higher perspective. We're being given opportunities by our very angels to reconnect with divine healing through the heart space. Hilarion is his name over there on the within, so that's where your heart is coming from. Remember to be joyful. Remember to laugh at your own, mishaps and misunderstandings. Remember to not take life so seriously. And that's what that message is telling us today. Remember that we are all brothers and sisters, and that bickering is all a part of life. It's a part of understanding one another. But until you can speak from your heart space, you might not be doing any healing. You might actually be disconnected. So once you connect to your heart space and you can laugh and you can enjoy yourself during the conversation, that's whenever you're in your center. That's whenever you've discovered the vortex, okay? That's when you're energetically, vibrationally ready to receive the messages of these cards today, of the inner magics, of the inner healing. All right. Let's take this and set that right there so we can see this card. There we go. So as I'm looking at these as a whole, I'm seeing that some of us might need to reconnect with some green stones, possibly some amazonite, moldavite, or even turquoise. Beautiful green stones for healing, emerald, things like that. Emerald is very linked to Hilarion. And then I'm also getting the diamond over here, so some clear quartz to help with clarity might be needed at this time. A lot of us normally walk around, with some black tourmaline for grounding and shielding, things like that. That's great. You need that right now, especially with Isis coming through. She has that energy of the underworld bringing her with the subconscious messages. So those are great to help anchor those messages in. But also the clear quartz is going to help you with clear communication today. I'm also seeing the blue and white, so possibly some sodalite. And then also grounding, so you might, this blue and maybe dark blue up here is reminding me of labradorite. So use some labradorite, black tourmaline, some green amazonite or malachite, and then some clear quartz. Those are the 4 stones you might want to walk with you through the end of the week, this week, to help you heal on a deeper level, to tap into their energy healing. That's one of the things that really helps me a lot is crystals. It helps my body understand the message, and it acts as kind of a trigger for my mind to get into the right space. Especially whenever I hear them jiggle in my pocket, or if I stick my hands in my pocket and touch them and I feel their energies coming through. It's wonderful and beautiful to be connected to those energies. You may also need to call on one of these keepers of the light if you are feeling led for a deeper lesson, or if you're needing more understanding. You can call on Isis to reconnect to your heart space and your intuition. Right? If you're going through a dark night of the soul, call upon Isis to walk with you. Call upon Horus to guide you from higher into higher perspective, allowing your magic to raise higher and get into the collective, right? Because a lot of the messages that we're receiving, especially with Melchizedek and higher learning and Hilarion divine healing, is you're being given messages within your experience to share with the entire collective. So what you're going through, the messages you're going through, these issues that you're dealing with as this Mercury retrograde continues to move through, and we're about halfway there. As this Mercury retrograde continues to move through, we're actually as light workers and, beautiful healers and energy workers and readers and intuitives and empaths, you're being given life lessons that are going to help the collective when you share. You will raise the vibration. You will allow for higher learning. This is what's going to be happening outside of you. The collective is learning, and you are at the point where you are doing divine healing. Do you see how this works? You're being healed as the collective is healed. And as you heal, the collective is healed, and vice versa. As above, so below, within, so without. That's the beautiful message of the medicine wheel, is that as you heal yourself, you heal your ancestral line, you heal your friends, you heal your family, you heal your work environment. It's all from a different perspective. And if we can listen to these beautiful messages that are coming through as our egos are tripped, as we are triggered, and we learn that on this spiritual path we now have tools to use to keep things from escalating and to tap into the higher messages here. Okay, you might even want to do some laughter yoga. I know there's a great guy on our page here, the Healing Alchemist group, named Michael Murphy. He's wonderful. If you're in the Fayetteville, Arkansas area, check him out. He's incredible. He will definitely be able to help you with this transition that's going on right now during your lifetime in this soul journey here. And if you need higher messages, call on Melchizedek. Ask his angels to come through to help guide you to say the right words, to guide you to truth. Blue is truth. I'm even hearing that Archangel Michael is stepping in at this time. He's over here standing to the right of me saying, I also bear truth. Some people will feel more comfortable talking to Archangel Michael. That is fine. He is of the same ray as Melchizedek, and they work together often. So if you feel more comfortable working with Archangel Michael, please do so. I want to thank you for this reading today, Spirit. Thank you for allowing us to get into our heart spaces and allow divine healing to come through, allowing deeper messages, higher learning to be experienced. Thank you for presenting us with this cosmic gateway and allowing our magic to truly manifest and truly help us understand what is getting in the way of our direct manifestation of our reality. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, what a beautiful message. And now as we go into the second reading, we're going to be talking with the second deck, which is the Divine Animals Oracle. And we'll be working with that today for what is going on within us. So that's going to help kind of look at some of those Hilarion cards from the first one and some of the Isis messages as well. These divine animal oracles came to me through the mail as quite a surprise. A wonderful Mercury retrograde surprise. So thank you, Spirit, for that. And oh, there's a card in here that is upside down. Okay. Oh, I thought it was, I thought it was the picture coming out, but I guess it was just the light end of that deck. Oh, okay. So let's get these shuffled really quick. And as I get these shuffled really quick, what do you think of that first reading? Wow, we had some big energies coming through with Isis and Horus and Hilarion and Melchizedek. Beautiful, beautiful teachers. Now we're going to be doing the Divine Animals Oracle. If this Oracle deck spoke to you, I just want to let you know that it is beautiful. So, well done. All right, so here are our 4 cards as we start. And we're going to start on the as above. Remember, we're going to be using the medicine wheel reading here, which is as above, so below, as within, so without. So our message from above is coming from the dolphins. Ooh, this is all about emotions, guys. And dolphins, the key word for dolphins is happiness. Okay, and the answer is 42. We know that from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right? But I'm seeing also this beautiful water here, clarity. Dolphins are beautiful with communicating in groups. So we are definitely working through how each of us can be happy in a cohesive groups. Okay, I know this was coming out in my life today. I'm actually going to start teaching some classes here locally, and I'm working with a group of people. And as Mercury retrograde goes through, communications get foiled, things fall through, and tempers run high, right? So Mercury was really testing us today. And so it was almost like we were on this run, I'm seeing racing a little bit. And what are these other beautiful, okay, so there's light codes coming. So that's reminding me of echolocation. Echolocation. You might actually be receiving telepathic messages. I think that's what that first reading was telling us, of your intuition matching with your logic. So you're actually reading people's thoughts. Okay, so be careful with that. With this new upgraded telepathy, you can actually, hurt more than heal, especially as you kind of first get your grip around this. It's something new. Something new is being birthed. This new gift is being birthed into you of telepathy and communicating mind to mind. And so it's a bit tricky at first, because you don't realize the thoughts aren't your own, and by saying them, you kind of sit there and jab at individuals, and you're not even realizing it. But this is actually helping them understand what is keeping them from true happiness, and it's getting into their deep emotions, okay? So that's why it kind of freaks them out and triggers them, and even triggers yourself. You're saying things that are telling you to heal, giving you trauma issues to work through. That's a deep thing here, okay? Because whenever you're birthing something new, you tend to think about where you came from. You think about your past. Dolphins are known for some of the best memories in the mammal kingdom. So it's good that they're telling us this information right now, that, it's okay to remember. Ooh, I was just having to call on Lord Metatron and ask if he could deal with these, interferences that are coming through as my internet keeps dropping. I keep losing live signal, and I'm so sorry that I lost you guys again. Let's pray that that doesn't happen again as we continue this reading. But I just wanted to draw your eyes back to the dolphin card. And I believe I was saying, whenever you're birthing new things in yourself, it can trigger issues and emotions from when you were younger, okay? From your rearing, from whenever you were raised and how you were raised, okay? So whatever you're going through right now is issues that are helping to heal the inner child. okay? Helping to heal it, because you are returning back to a lesson that you learned long ago when you were young, long and long ago. I think dolphins, I don't know why, but I always feel like they have a history of the world that we don't know about, right? That they just have this collective memory of things that we don't quite understand. And that's why they have a beautiful perspective, and they are so joyful and happy because they remember the source from which we came from. They remember this beautiful light. And it's bringing in messages today. Ho, 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 ho. So we're being asked to change. Down below, 33. We're mastering this right now, okay? We're mastering soul alchemy. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're 33 is so beautiful, okay? So 33 is a number for balance. 33 is like yin and yang, right? It's that not duality, but duality and the mix, the blend, and seeing the beautiful, kind of double helix dance between good and evil, or light and dark, and realizing that those dwell within each of us, and they allow us to become chameleons and kind of change ourselves, right? There's so many of us light workers and healers that we have gone through iteration after iteration after iteration of self, because we're on a journey of self-discovery. And this is saying that you are mastering that at this time. You're finally finding your true purpose. That this, whatever is being born in you now, this telepathy, these spiritual gifts, some of the clair gifts of claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, they're coming through to show you and guide you to your true purpose. And you may not recognize yourself by the end of this Mercury retrograde, because you have transformed completely. It's like a 180. And I'm even seeing the spear here. Okay, so the spear to me is saying that pinpoint accuracy. So you're actually getting to the point where you can transform yourself by simply seeing yourself going into a new direction and understanding it. Hello, Tina. Hi. Sorry, you guys. This video keeps dropping in and out. So if all of you will help raise the vibration so we can stay live for the next deck. I have one more deck here, but hello, Tina. It's so lovely to have you with us. How are you expressing this chameleon energy? Are there big changes in your life right now? I know there are for me. Oh, thank you, Lauren, for the hearts, and thank you, Romata. I appreciate that so much. I love that you're all watching. Thank you for staying with us. But again, there are huge, huge changes going on in your subconscious and in your true self. Oh, and look, Jennifer Brunner, you called it the king, the tiger. And here we have the king, the tiger is Will. And Will is 34, okay? So we have 33 and then 34. 34 to me always means 7. So this is coming out under divine healing again, right? Divine healing from Hilarion, from our first deck. Those greens and oranges. So it's all about manifesting what we want. Remember, we had that Isis card, that we're learning so much about our manifestation and about how our thoughts really do shape our reality. And we're being given like a crash course in this, okay? And so some of us that have been preaching, love and light, and, I control my reality, the spirits are kind of saying, okay, you've been taught, you've learned, you've grown, and this is new, but we're going to give you a test to see if you can level up to the next level and learn to see if you can actually use your willpower. And it's almost like growing an extra set of arms. And how you see that, for me, I'm feeling like some of them are in quiet meditation always. Others are doing actions, and others are constantly reaching up to the stars, reaching up to source. So you're starting to figure out how to control your mind, where it is going, and allowing yourself to step into, center and step into source energy more often. And then it's like you're riding the tiger. The tiger no longer chases you. Your will doesn't chase you around and isn't the boss. Your ego isn't the boss anymore. You are the boss of your ego. Yes. And I'm seeing you're even creating, right? Things are coming more naturally to you. You're naturally creating as you connect to source and as you continue to move in action, but constantly staying in a state of meditation and prayer. Your prayers are being answered at a much faster rate than before. And then we have Raven. Oh, look at that. 23. Now, I was born on the 23rd, so I have a lot of beautiful connections to that number. It was my golden birthday, and then there's some news coming without here. So my news that I received today was that I'm operating too much from ego. I have been in my day-to-day life, and I will be the first to admit that I can be pretty bossy sometimes, but it's because I care. And I can sit here and blame it on me being caring, or I could say, well, my Venus is in Virgo. I'm just critical to people that I love. And Spirit is saying, no, brother. You're being shown that was the archetype you came in here with, but we've upgraded you. You're no longer that being anymore. You have set a higher standard for yourself, and you're changing. You are seriously changing your stars. And so, what do you want to be? Allow this news that comes in to change you for the better. It might be shocking at first. It might be a harsh truth, because I'm seeing there's a little man here being eaten by the raven. So you may feel like it's overwhelming news at first. It swallows you whole. But some of us need to remember Jonah in the whale, right? In the belly of the whale. So I'm seeing you're being eaten. You might be in the belly of the whale now, or the Leviathan, or the dark night of the soul. Okay, remember that was coming through in the last reading, that some of us are walking through this darkness right now, this cave, this tunnel. But you're seeing the light. You're seeing the light come through, seeing the light. You see how you were submerged at first and the light was above you? Well, now the light is with you. The light is changing you. The light is connecting you and bringing you out of that dark time and into the light. That's what Raven does. That's what Raven Spirit does. With that gentle light, it guides you. Okay? I'm even being reminded of Hugin and Munin, Odin's ravens, right? That your thoughts and your memories are helping this transition. They're actually urging them on. So some of these things coming through, that's why we're being triggered. That's why that first reading was saying, you're being triggered. You're being pushed to change. Chameleon here, right? It's coming through as what is getting in the way of your happiness. The vortex up here, the resonance up here, the vibration source wants you to be continually happy, but you have some changes to do in order to really come into happiness. And it's those thoughts and those memories that you keep reiterating, right? Some of them are holding you down. Some of them are keeping you from change. So this outside news is coming in to rock your world, to change your world, to really illustrate and illuminate what has been in the dark, what you have been blind to. Raven is here to help you. Remember that came through with Horus. The eagle was coming through to show you. But if you miss the message, you walk through kind of a dark night of the soul, but then Raven comes to save the day and say, I'm here. I can show you the way. Follow me. And Raven, he's always connected with liking shiny objects, right? But I thought one of the most beautiful things about that is that all of us love shiny objects. We love the light. We love sparkles. We love the way it makes us feel. Even, men, they like a shiny belt. They like shiny shoes. They may say they're not glamorous, but yes, they are. And we all like the shine and we all like the light, okay? So Raven is saying, I'm here to walk you through that. I'm here to help you transition. And the whole brotherhood of ravens is watching over you, okay, at this time. So that was a beautiful message from our internal spirit animals. Next, we're going to be moving to the Angels and Ancestors deck. It's going to take us on our subconscious journey here. Okay. All right, so let's check out the subconscious journey. What is going on in that? I keep seeing, and I know a lot of you have already seen this cover before, but I keep seeing the owl on the cover and then drums. So some of you might even be being called to a more shamanic or nature-based way of living. Okay, so you might be getting into environmentalism. You know, you may be planting trees. You may be trying your hand at gardening for the first time. You might be, you know, something is getting you reconnected to nature if you chose this deck. So if you chose this deck tonight, that's really helping you a lot. Nature is going to be one of the best ways to reconnect and recenter at this time for you. And I've been called out there too. I have this beautiful oak tree outside that every time I walk outside, I just feel it. Its energy is beautiful. He's a beautiful brother. And he's taught me a lot in the past few months. All right, so here we go with these cards. So we're going to be doing the medicine wheel reading as well. So we have as above, so below, as within, so without. And so as we go into this final reading, I just wanted to mention again that we have all of the decks that I used today in the description. We have the Keepers of the Light deck available, also the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards available, and the Divine Animals Oracles by Stacy DeMarco. You can check out those links and purchase them for your own personal use today if you'd like to use them as a divine messenger for your own walk. And thank you for your support on those. I also wanted to mention that in the comments is the PayPal link to help me out, help support this channel, and help me to continue to do these videos for you guys, because I love doing them for you, and the more support that you get, the more videos I get to do. So it's awesome. It's a win-win for everybody. So I want to thank you for that today. So here we go with our last cards. Going into the third reading of tonight, we're going to be talking about mountains above. Okay, so that's strength. Stand your ground. Okay, that's what mountains are saying. Stand your ground. But I'm seeing this in a different way than I normally do. But I'm hearing that you actually have to walk up to the peak and look at the stars. Look at the bigger picture. And by standing your ground in your higher space, okay, that's not standing your ground as in getting angry back. That's not standing your ground as in, being a bull and not moving. It's standing your ground and standing in yourself, standing from a place of true self, where no one triggers you, no one can move you, no matter what they do, no matter what they're going through, that you can see what is happening, what is going on through them, what is happening in their walk, and you actually have empathy and compassion. So that's what Spirit is showing you today with the Angels and Ancestors deck. So subconsciously you know this. And so if you do get into any little tiffs or disagreements or arguments, just step back, take a moment. I mean, during Mercury retrograde, this can happen. This can happen, especially whenever iron meets iron, right? Okay, sparks fly. So it's just time to remember that these are going to happen, but you have been given the tools to work through this. You've got this, okay? You're not just some young spring chick anymore. Oh, and we're seeing the trader here down below. So it says, exchange energy to create abundance. So this might be a time for you to start working for the community, working for others. And you'll find that you bring in more abundance into your life when you give back. So this perspective up here, this higher perspective, where I'm seeing standing on mountains, looking at the stars, right? We have the stars there in that, on that card. Okay, so looking at the whole Milky Way as a whole, you realize how small and insignificant daily arguments can be. And you get a completely different perspective whenever you move from the heart space, as the trader stands with his heart right there, right? He's wanting to be open to you. This is a true exchange. There is no, so whoever you're having disagreements with, if you're having, issues or miscommunications, they're trying to speak from their heart, but like you, they're experiencing these emotions upgraded. They're experiencing them very intensely. So don't take them for what they are. Look at it higher and try to speak together as one from your heart space. So that might mean you might need to speak gently, speak like you're speaking to a stranger, okay? We tend to behave more around strangers than we do with beloved loved ones like coworkers and lovers and best friends or family, okay? And they get the brunt of our, irritation and frustration with the world, right? There's a lot going on right now, right? We see this, a lot going on, but it doesn't have to affect us. It doesn't have to affect our day-to-day communications. It doesn't have to affect our day-to-day interactions, especially if we speak from the heart, especially if we speak from a place of divine love. I'm also seeing this rainbow here, and that it's showing me that there are many connections in your life that are going to come up to allow you to heal, okay? But allow it to happen. Allow that transition through your heart. Yes, it is painful. Remember the second reading we did with the Divine Animals Oracle? Pregnancy is not comfortable. Water is not comfortable. The wide ocean is not a comfortable feeling. You're not in control. That's how our emotions feel when we go through the heart space at first. But as we continue to move through the heart space, we receive wisdom. And what happens within, we are shifted into our passions. Okay, the fire guardian is here to ignite your passions. You're just feeling really passionate right now. Everyone is. Everyone is feeling very passionate. And I'm even hearing that this has a lot to do with the, spring equinox coming up. Fertility magic is in the air, ancient fertility magic. You may even want to call on your angels, the fire angels that stand for your tradition, maybe even the spirits of the salamanders, to help you understand the purifying fires that are happening in your life. I'm not saying that they're not going to happen, but you can use them for understanding, okay? And use that wisdom, right? Because here's a dragon spirit behind him. He also has dragons and smoke tattooed on his body, okay? So he's learned a lot of lessons, okay? You have to learn the lessons in order to become wise. If you think you know it all, you know nothing. Because there's so much more to discover. There's always deeper and deeper and deeper meanings to understand for every message. So even if you think to yourself, oh, again and again and again, we're back at this, we're back to this lesson, look at it from a higher perspective and see how the outcome shifts. Remember, it says that the definition of insanity is doing the same things expecting different results. Well, if you're doing the same things expecting different results, I've got some news for you. It's going to burn you. It's going to blow up in your face. That's what he's reminding us. Fire can be cleansing or fire can destroy. Okay? So what is being destroyed by fire is being purified at this time. Let it happen. But what is purified and stays? What is purified and stays, that is true. And I learned that beautiful lesson today, that what can handle purifying fire is true and worth keeping, and you don't have to fight it so hard. You don't have to fight these shifts as hard. You don't have to fight these people in your life. You can actually trust them and listen. And that's what that's what She-Wolf is saying. Unleash the wild within. Okay, because here's the deal. People want you to be you. They want this fire to clear away everything, and they want your true self to come out. And they're telling you, I'm not seeing your true self. Your true self is not coming through, and it needs to come through so that we can communicate together. You need to tap into your intuition. There's so many signs going on outside of you, from your interactions to what you listen to the movies you watch, to the music, that moves your soul. These things are messages from your own divine within. Okay, and you're saying that the wolves even bring back that telepathy, like the pack has this crazy ability to speak to one another and move as a group. And science doesn't quite understand it, but um I think it's like telepathy, like they speak mind to mind, but it's probably just they can pick up on minute body language that us humans don't have forgotten how to understand. But we actually do see it. We actually do pick up on intuitive cues from people's body language and the way people talk to us, and a lot of our intuition is correct. So a lot of messages are coming through on that you need to be true to yourself. And if you're not being true to yourself, you're not going to be operating from your heart space, and you can get burned. Okay, so see, it goes backwards. But if you allow it to, so if you're not connected to your intuition or your heart space, you get burned. But if you allow yourself to be purified by these energies and connect to your heart space, beautiful transformation happens, and you come into fullness, and you find your purpose. You find your way. Because She-Wolf reminds us that you always have a pack behind you, both in this realm and in the spiritual realm, to call upon. So in moments when you need strength, remember the stars here. Remember the stars in this. Go to your special place of strength. Go to, when you feel like you're a rock between a hard place, right? When you feel like you're in that space, go to a place where you can get a higher perspective through meditation and look at your guidance, and they're going to help you use this fire here to purify and cleanse. And then they're going to help you connect to your heart space and see truth. And then you come into your own. You come into your strength. That's a beautiful message today. I'm also seeing feathers here, so some of you might be receiving feathers as messages that angels walk with you. Maybe even bird messengers. Okay, I'm hearing raven for sure, and eagle came up earlier in some of our readings. So eagle and cardinal. I don't know why, but I'm seeing the red and the black play off of one another. So cardinal could be coming through for you as well. That yes, opening your heart can be a painful experience with the red here, like that bleeding heart. But that's just stage 2. The next stage is allowing yourself to move through that pain, move through that healing, and step into your true self. That's beautiful. You have the strength within you. If you have the faith, you can move mountains. It's so powerful. I want to thank you all for joining me for this 3-deck reading. Be sure to, like this page and share this video. You can click the link up to follow and get, notifications whenever we do more lives, so that you can check in with these videos. I want to thank you all for your love and support. Don't forget, if you liked any of these decks today, that we were using the Keepers of the Light deck. Woo! The Keepers of the Light deck, the Angels and Ancestors, and the Divine Animals Oracle decks. You can find those links above, where you can log in and get your own copies for your own personal healing journeys, and we will receive a little bit of a support from each time you do that. And also the link above to send support to our page and myself personally to continue these readings is there. It's paypalme.com or paypalme.com/wildfire earth. The link is in the comments. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And I hope these readings help you connect with your keepers of the light and your angels and ancestors and your own divine journey. Many blessings to you all. I love you, and you are loved. You are enough. You are perfect, because these changes that are happening in you are bringing you closer to your true self. Many blessings.